Sinutandu Malinga and Ibanati Peter were two ordinary South African teenagers. They were 19 and 17 years old, and they should have deserved to grow up. They should have been allowed to have a life, to have a career, to have a family. But instead, their lives would be robbed. And not only that, their bodies would be brutally violated. Not once, not twice, but 4 times. Now, if you are sensitive, do not listen. Leave me a like and a follow. Most of you who watch my videos don't follow, and it really helps get the message out of there if you follow. Now, what happened was last Tuesday night, Ibanati and Sinutandu were socializing with 4 teenage boys that they knew. And Ibanati was in a relationship with one of these teenage boys. And they were just hanging around doing teenager stuff. And teenager stuff, I don't know if many of the parents want to hear it, right? But teenager stuff involves having consensual relations. And that's what Ibanati apparently was doing with her boyfriend, who she was in a relationship with. This is normal. And then what is not normal is that 4 men, one of them is related to one of the teenage boys that was in the house. We don't know what prompted them to come there. Perhaps they had a bit too much to drink, and there's no ways that alcohol is to blame for this. But something set them off, and they forced their way. They kicked the door down into the house where these 2 girls and these 4 juvenile boys were. And what they did is that the ringleader, Sipusethu Gamono, he kicked the door down to where Ibanati was with her boyfriend, and he pulled her boyfriend off of her, and he decided, hey, listen, it's my turn. I'm gonna violate you. And it's not just him that did it. It was his 3 other friends that joined in. And they didn't just do it to Ibanati as well. They did it to Sinutandu. I mean, what level of hate do these boys, because they are young, they are 18 to 26, what level of hate do they have for women? Now, when they were done, they decided that they had to kill the ladies. And they slit their throats. Just imagine how horrified, how terrified those 2 little girls were. They had just been violated, and then their throats were slit. And then after that, they decided they needed to clean up the crime scene. So they dragged the woman. We know because there are drag marks, there's indications that they were dragged. And they left them in an open field where they put a piece of tarp over their bodies and set it alight, as though they were garbage. And I put it to you that the real garbage is those 4 monsters who are accused, and they are innocent until proven guilty, but it's those 4 monsters who came into the house to commit horrors on women. Now, the 4 juvenile boys who were in the house were also arrested, but they've been released because it is clear that they had nothing to do with the crime. And we don't know what happened between the boys and the men in that exchange, the ones that are accused, but it's best not to speculate until we have all the facts. Now, these 4 monsters, with their gang leader, Sipusethu, who seems to have been the main instigator, they have abandoned their bid for bail. And I think they did that because they are scared. The community of Kariga, of KwaNobuhle, is angry. They are angry. And you know what? I think they don't want to take their chances out on the outside, because I think they know what's going to happen if they come out after the horror that they perpetrated. Now, I do not condone mob violence. We live in a country where there is a rule of law and we respect the laws as citizens. But I just think it's interesting that these men feel safer in jail than out on the streets. Now, I will be following this case. So, if you want updates, please remember to give me a follow. And let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to think of Sinutandu and Ibanati, because they were people. They were beautiful girls who were just having a fun night out as teenagers. They were with their boyfriend. She was with her boyfriend, and this still happened to her. When is this going to stop? And let's keep the families in our thoughts and our prayers. And let's just pray for justice. Justice for Sinu and Iba.